So, the next kind of vegetation is tropical deciduous forest. These are the forests which require rainfall between 70 centimeters to 200 centimeters. These forests are called monsoon forest also, and they are the most widespread forests in our country. They have trees which shed leaves for around 6 to 8 weeks in the season of summer. And we categorize these forests on the basis of rainfall or on the basis of water availability, and they are divided into two categories, that is moist deciduous and dry deciduous forest. The common animals which are found in both the forests are lion, tiger, pig, deer and elephants, and they have different variety or species of birds also, like lizards, snakes, tortoise, etc. You can see the difference between the dry deciduous and the moist deciduous forests. Here in this slide, you can check out the difference between the moist deciduous forest and the dry deciduous forest. They are different on the basis of rainfall. Like moist deciduous has rainfall between 100 to 200 centimeters, whereas dry deciduous has rainfall between 70 to 100 centimeters. They are found in different areas according to the rainfall, obviously. Like they cover the eastern slopes of Western Ghats, Shivalik and Chota Nagpur Plateau, whereas the dry forests, they are found in the rainier parts of Deccan Plateau and the Western Ganga Plains. Commercially moist deciduous forest is very important as they provide us timber. But if we talk about the dry deciduous forest, economically or commercially they are not that much important. The trees found in the moist forest are teak, sal, bamboo, shisham, sandalwood, etc. But in the dry deciduous forest we have sal, peepal and neem type of trees. The next vegetation is tropical thorn forest and scrubs. Children, as the name is suggesting, thorn forest means which requires less rainfall. So these are the forests which are there in the areas of less rainfall. We can say the areas of rainfall less than 70 centimeters. They are found in the dry areas of Gujarat, Rajasthan, MP, where rainfall is less. The trees in these forests, they have thorny bushes. As you can see in the picture also, they have thorny bushes like cacti, euphorbia, palm, acacias, etc. The trees of the roots of the trees in these forests, they are penetrated deep into the soil, and they have to go much deep to find water, because these are the arid region. The water availability is less, so the soil is dry, so they have to go deep. The roots have to be deep to get or to find water. Stems are succulent to conserve water, means the stems of these trees, they hold water. Correct. The animals found in these particulars forest are rats, mice, rabbit, fox, wolf, tiger, lion, camels, etc. Next kind of forest are mangrove forest. Mangrove forest are also known as tidal forest, as they are found majorly in the areas of majorly in the coastal areas and the areas which are tidal areas. Correct. And the roots of the trees in these kind of forests is submerged with water. As you can see here in the picture also, the roots of the trees are under the water, so they are submerged in water, and they are basically found in the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, the Ganga Brahmaputra delta, which is also known as Sundarban delta, which is a habitat of Royal Bengal tiger. And the trees which are majorly found in these kind of forest are palm, coconut, kevda, agar. Other than Royal Bengal tiger or the tigers, the common animals which are found in these areas, in these forests, are turtles, crocodiles, gharials, snakes, etc. The next kind of vegetation is montane forest. As you can easily relate mountain with mountains, correct? So, yes, this kind of vegetation is found in the mountainous regions. And one thing I want to tell you is the height which when the height from the sea level increases, the shape of the trees change. Same way, when you are 1000 to 2000 meter above the sea level, the trees you found are oak and chestnut. But when you go above 2000 meters, say 1500 to 3000 meters, the trees you will find are silver fir, spruce, cedar. And at this height, the forests are known as coniferous forests. Now, if you go above 3000 meters height from the sea level, at that time the forests are alpine forest, and the trees you find are silver fir, juniper, pine, birches, etc. The the height when the height increases, the shape of the trees also changes, because at that time the shape of the trees becomes conical, as you can see in the picture. Here the trees are conical in shape. Can you remember? Can you imagine the Christmas tree? It is conical in shape or not? Okay, so that is why we can say that these forests are found in the mountainous region. They are mountain forests, and the animals found in these areas are the animals who have thick hairs on their bodies, who can survive in that particular cold region, like Kashmir stag, Tibetan antelope, snow leopard, squirrels, red panda, sheep, etc. Forests and the plants, they give us so much. We have discussed this thing from the beginning itself. But yes, plants have medicinal properties also. And India is well known for treating the diseases with these medicinal plants, with using these herbs and species from ancient times. Sarpgandha, Jamun, Arjun, Neem, Tulsi, Kachnar, and more than that, eucalyptus, giloy, ashwagandha, gotu-kola. There are so many plants which are used in the treatment of various diseases in India. The next topic is wildlife, means fauna, the fauna of our country. India is rich in fauna. Yes, 1200 species of bird, 2500 species of fish, 89,000 animal species. Here in this table, you can see different species of animals in our country and the areas in which they live or the habitat of these particular species. But we need to conserve them. Yes, because there are many species who are endangered. There is a need to conserve them. Why? Because in this ecosystem, each and every species plays a very important role. They have their work to do, and this then only the balance of this ecosystem will maintain. Animals, they provide transportation, meat, egg. Fishes also, they provide us nutritive food. Insects, they help in the pollination of crops, fruits, and trees. Plants, they provide food to us. They provide many things to us. Like just now we have talked about the herbs and medicines also. So we all have been given uh, a very important role. So each and every species is needed to be conserved. But now there are many species of plants and animals which are endangered. Why they are endangered? What is the reason behind their extinction? Yes, it is us. It is human beings. Because we people have become greedy. We people want industries. We people want more land to be cultivated. We people want big lands for human settlements. For our enjoyment, we hunt animals. Hunting and poaching in our country for enjoyment, for the skin of animals, for business and trade also. Pollution which we people are creating. The animals, they are animals, plants, they are suffering a lot due to chemicals, due to industrial wastes. Overgrazing, which impact wildlife and its habitat. So these all are the reasons for the extinction of plants and animals, and we human are responsible for it. But what our government is doing, let's check it out. There are various steps which are taken by the government. They have set up 14 biosphere reserve in our country to protect flora and fauna. Now, what are biosphere reserves? Biosphere reserves are set up by the government to keep the animals in their natural habitat. Nanda Devi, Manas, Panna, Gulf of Mannar, Nilgiri, Simlipal. There are so many biosphere reserves which are set up by our government to protect flora and fauna, or we can say to protect our biodiversity. With this, our government is providing financial assistance to many botanical gardens so that they can conserve their flora. Many projects has been started by the government like Project Tiger, Project Rhino, Project Great Indian Bustard. There are so many projects which are started to conserve the species which are endangered. 89 national parks, 490 wildlife sanctuaries, they are set up to take care of this priceless natural heritage of our country. So we should also go hand in hand to keep our flora and fauna safe. This is all for this chapter. Thank you so much, children. Thanks for joining. Till then, stay home, stay safe.